Is There More is the podcast where creators share how their darkest moments became the breakthroughs that changed everything. We're building a space for raw stories, deep connection, and real hope for everyone who's still writing their story. Brought to you by Dialog Life Skills, the world's scalable solution to the teen and young adult mental health crisis. I'm your host, Megan A. Tully, and I'm listening.
Hey, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Part 2 of the part 2. You reached out and you said that your therapist listened to your podcast episode. How did that go? Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it was just really interesting to talk to my therapist about. I didn't actually think he would have the time to listen, but he listened in and he had just specific questions about specific parts of the podcast, which was really interesting to process with him.
Wow.
Um, it's kind of something I've been processing behind the scenes anyway, so it was cool to talk that out.
Did you ask him to watch it or did he just well, actually, yeah, you probably sent it to him, right?
He actually did ask to watch it. I, had mentioned it in one of our sessions, and he said, "Can I have the link and I'll watch it?" And he did.
You were
So, yeah.
you were like, "Link in bio." That's so
No,
fun.
I, emailed him.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
just fun. What a good therapist. It's like he's, interested in your life and what you're creating and stuff too.
Yeah, no, he's a great therapist. He's been very helpful for my growth. I don't think I would have come as far as I have without him because he's really, keyed into the things that I need to
Mm,
learn and need, witnessing in, essentially, and he's just been there. So it's been great to have him for, I think, 4 years now.
oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
awesome. It's a good
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
also chose a male therapist. I don't know why, I just remember, I was calling, on a weekend because I really didn't wanna go to therapy, so I called on a weekend so I knew I would get everybody's voicemail, and then I started, listening to, I don't know, their voice, and there was something about my old therapist's voice that I heard, and I was like, "Wow, he sounds like a good person, actually,"
Mhm.
and ended up, yeah, being really good for me, but why did you
Yeah.
choose a man versus a woman? Was there, a reason for that or not at all?
I think I have had a woman therapist, 2 actually, but I never, felt like I was getting really anywhere with
Mm,
them, and, um I think the irony is that I had struggles with, relationships with other women that, I needed that connection, but, um, I think part of me just needed that connection with, the male energy, um, almost the protector in a man, being able to sit in the presence of, strong male energy to be able to heal something in me,
that's
you know?
yeah, that's beautiful. I feel like a lot of women are well, women that I've talked to are kind of, opposed to having a male therapist because 'cause they're, scared of them, but it's cool that you saw it as a real opportunity to even, sit in, your womanhood and be
Mhm.
witnessed by a man because I think, that's a lot of the healing that, at least the female needs to do, right? Is, be okay with being vulnerable in front of men because it's probably, a lot of our wounding too.
Right. I mean, if you go back to my story, that's
Mhm.
part of my wounding is not having, the emotionally available presence of my dad, which I love my dad very much, but, he just couldn't be that for me. Part of him needed or still needs some healing in that area too. Um, so I think I just, yeah, really needed that from a male energy, a man.
Yeah. So in a way, you're meeting your need for that through your therapist, which is really cool. And if you guys haven't seen Cait in part 1, go watch part 1. It's on our channel. Is There More World? She did a beautiful backstory to this whole thing. So go watch that before you go any further. But for now, let's dive in. So what did your therapist ask you specifically about from that conversation?
So from that conversation, he specifically keyed into the part where I mentioned my dating history and how when I go out on dates, I can kind of turn into a little bit of a coach. And he was just kind of questioning if it was like, if there was something deeper there, if it was maybe like a flippant kind of feeling like about men, um, where I'm just kind of guarded. Um, and it wasn't out of judgment. It wasn't out of anything negative towards me, but like just trying to figure out what exactly that is in me that makes me flip so quickly into like coach mode instead of staying present. And not that I'm not present as a coach, but like there's a different level, you know, of connection when you're coaching someone or being like there with them and also being witnessed by them.
Mhm.
So we kind of dug into that.
Interesting. Okay, so I knew we were gonna have this conversation, so I went out this weekend. You know, I said I'm not really in the dating pool, right? I'm still
Yeah.
not, but I went out in St. Louis this weekend and I asked all the girls, like 25 to 30 years old, so like around my age, like how dating is going, just to
Hmm.
get like some other perspective. And all of them said, literally every single one of them said, "It is so strange. I keep going on dates and the guy never asked me any questions. Like, it's just me asking him questions or like
Hmm.
me just listening to what he's saying. And it feels like they just want us to be there for them, but they literally don't want to get to know me at all." And
Yeah.
so that reminded me of what you said just now because I was like, huh, I wonder if it's just simply because they're not even asking her anything. So she has to just continue to like dive deeper into who they are. Do you find that to be true a little bit at all or not at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think there have definitely been dates that I've been on where it's like I feel like I'm just pulling and pulling and pulling because no questions are coming back. It's a very one-sided conversation. And so my comfort is just to be the listener and be the listening ear. And so I ask questions, I get curious. So that's like almost like a protective strategy. Um,
Why do you
but
say
I
it's
think
protective?
because when it's the flip side, when they are asking questions, it can be like I can tend to put up a wall maybe, like
Okay,
um and don't go deep into my own vulnerability, can kind of briefly cover it and then, oh,
gotcha.
I'm going to be curious about you instead.
Oh, so it's like that deflecting thing where it's like
Yeah,
somebody
a
gives you a
little bit.
compliment, you're like, thanks, you too. And it's like, wait, what? I didn't even receive the or whatever.
Right.
So
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Is there more to that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of the main thing that my therapist kind of keyed in on was like, why are you afraid to let someone see you? And it like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing that again, you know? It just is a reminder that no matter how much growth we've done, like we still have to come to awareness of those parts of us that are protecting us from other people. And um, I think for me, it's like I have kind of always put walls up around other people. I was always really afraid to let people see me.
Mm.
Um, and that's like the emotional vulnerability element that I had to evolve and grow over the years in adulthood. You know, it's something that you typically learn as a kid growing, but I didn't really have that. So um, you kind of learn and grow and have to be okay with that path. So
What did
yeah.
you guys discover from that conversation, you and your therapist?
We keyed into, like, the masculine energy, right? Like, we can tend to look at feminine, masculine as, like, masculine is just tough and protective and strong, and
Mhm.
feminine is really soft, but, like, we all have the masculine and feminine energy, and we can all have those parts of us, and if I'm viewing a man, like, sharing their vulnerability as weakness, it's not necessarily not masculine. Um And I think I just noticed that part of myself where I was like still looking at like these very traditional roles of like, oh, a man should be strong and like they just, but sharing vulnerably is strong. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a little moment where I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, I check myself a little bit and I can lean into that more rather than making it out to be a bad thing, because it's not. That's exactly what you want in a relationship, is a partner that is equally vulnerable with you.
Okay, so you found through that conversation that there was some things that you were kind of judging in a man that you needed to work on yourself. Did I get
Y-
that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I found I was judging a little bit. And it was kind of like a moment of, you know, self judgment, shame a little bit. And I'm like, oh, this is not what I want to be doing. I don't want to be judging someone for being vulnerable, because that's exactly what I want, you know,
Yeah.
to pull someone in closer. And that's exactly what I teach. So like call myself out a little bit, you know?
Nice. It's like, expecting someone's whole heart, but protecting yours with, like, barbed wire
Right. I
and,
love
like,
that.
feeling you're gonna get close to them, but you're not really gonna get close to them. What you're gonna do is, like, 'cause well, I don't know, I can't really explain, but you're not gonna get close to them if they're only getting close to you or whatever, you know what I mean? Because if you're not
Yeah.
opening up your heart, then it's like, "Hmm,
Mhm.
what is it
You-
then?" It's
yeah.
more of control, I think, a bit more controlling of, like, I wanna know about you and kinda be able to see who you are, but I'm not gonna expose my, yeah, insecurities, vulnerabilities, weaknesses, all that, because I don't want you to have that advantage over me, perhaps. Um
Right.
But it's crazy that you say that because I literally went through the same thing this week. Like, not with I don't not with my therapist, but just in my own head, I started to, like, see what I was kind of, like, judging other people on, and I was like, "Wait a second." I was like, "But why am I judging them?" And, like, from everything
Mm.
we've learned in dialogue, which, by the way, thanks for coming
Yeah.
to the
It was
divinity
awesome.
workshop we did last week. That was fun. It was cool to, like, see you be in that process, and you were really good at kinda picking that up. But, yeah, it was like, from everything I've learned, it's like there's, like, literally a statement that says, "Wonder, don't judge." So, like, wonder
Mm.
about the person in
Yep.
order to, because 'cause you're always gonna have, like, some questioning, because humans,
Mhm.
we don't really, we are opposed to difference, we don't like difference. So we're always gonna be like, "What the heck? Why are they doing that?" You know, but if we just wonder about it instead of judge it, then I think,
Mhm.
like, the lens can always get turned back on you, and that's what I realized this week was like, "Oh, I'm only judging this person because 'cause I'm judging myself," like, literally, because 'cause we're also, I don't know, if
Right.
you expand it, like, to the biggest thing, like, we're all the same, like, thing. We're a human being, like, we're a spirit having a human
Right.
experience, and, like, yeah, so that was crazy to realize, and then I was like, "Okay, why don't I just focus on me and what I can do better about this judgment I have about other people, but, like, let me just turn it inward." So
Mhm.
it's fascinating that you said that because I literally, like, discovered the same thing this week. I was like, "I'm doing
Yeah.
it again."
Yeah. No, like the greatest irony is that what we judge other people for is what we're afraid of in ourselves. Like
Mhm.
I'm afraid to being vulnerable, so they're being vulnerable with me. I'm picking it apart like it's weakness, and it's not. That's what I actually want to be doing. Like, so I'm judging them for it because I want to be doing that. And it's scary and scary to do that.
Yeah,
So yeah, the we can really like catch ourselves sometimes like in the judgment.
yeah,
But if we just like notice that, we can kind of pick up parts of ourselves that we need to work on healing. So
definitely. What's up, you guys? I'm Megan A. Tully, the host of this podcast, Is There More? If you guys are liking this video so far, if it's doing something for you, please send it to a friend and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. We actually just hit 1,000 subscribers last week, and this channel got monetized. So huge thank you to you. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for watching the full length of the videos. It's been awesome seeing you guys engage in the comments. Thank you so much. Seriously, like this is a dream come true. I started this podcast a year and a half ago to help share dialogue life skills and model some of those relationship techniques. That's why you hear me sometimes say, let me see if I got that, or did I get that, or is there more? And we're doing a dialogue life skills workshop currently once a month. Cait joined us at the last workshop and learned to dialogue. It was so fun seeing her connect with the dialogue community. So if you guys want to be a part of it, please hit the link down in the description below. It's called
Is There More World / Dialog Life Skills. That'll take you straight to the sign up page. And if you want to learn more, feel free to DM me at Is There More World on Instagram. Again, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Okay, now let's get back to Cait and back to the show.
So going back to our last episode, you were very like particular about gender roles. Um, it's only been like a couple of weeks, but from then until now, have you changed any of your ideas of like gender roles should be kind of like set, or are you experiencing there should be a more like expansive idea of like a person to person basis or human to human, or has anything changed on that front in the past few weeks?
I think that gender roles are more specific to the relationship than like a man or woman. Like, as I was explaining it, I probably did make it sound like it was very men should do this, women should do this, but it's very, I believe, very specific to the relationship as like, I know I need this. I know I want a man to open the door. I know I'm not a 50-50 type of girl. I know how it makes me feel. So when you're in dynamics with people, when you're like getting to know someone, it can really just like let you know if it's the right type of relationship for you. Just picking up on how they enter the relationship, because I've been in a relationship where we didn't really match on those levels and it caused a lot of conflict. And it just like, I know how I feel not receiving those things. So you can look at, it's not specific, but like they need something that's not matching with you in that instance. And I think it's more than anything just about matching what type of roles you need.
Okay, so this is a two-part question. How does one discover what they actually need? And then once somebody does know themselves, like how do you communicate that?
Hmm. I mean, directly, I think,
Like, because in the relationship you were talking about, did you just say, "Hey, like, can you please open my door? Like, it would make me feel," or did you just never say anything? Or like, why was that such an issue in one of your past relationships?
it became an issue. Like I was pretty clear about like how I like to be treated. But it was clear as time went on that he was not okay doing those things with me or for me. And it came out in the end. Like, if you look at like the people pleaser dynamic, it's like doing and doing until like you almost burst. That's kind of what happened. So feel like I directly communicated, this is what I want, this is what I need. And then I started receiving that. But in the end, it became a conflict of like accusing me of entitlement, essentially.
I see.
um,
So he was doing what you wanted, but he didn't wanna be doing it. So
correct.
it was
Yeah.
cognitive dissonance kind of in his thing of like, "Fine, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it because I don't wanna lose you," but in the end, it was like, that's not who he is.
Right. And that's okay. That's okay that that's not who he is. But like, when you're getting to know someone,
Yeah. Okay.
it's just important to be clear and like, and not cling to someone just because you want a relationship, to understand that if they're telling you that they're not able to do that, that's not within them, then take it or leave it. Like either you're willing to adjust and move closer to them, or that you're absolutely not going to, and okay, part ways. You know, there are many people in the world, so we don't have to stick with one person just because we think they're the idealized version of what we want.
Yeah, we think they are.
Yeah, right? That's the
Not
idealization, right?
yeah. Well, it's crazy that, like, it was almost, like, not your lesson to learn because you almost got, like, duped in a way. It was like, "Wait, but I communicated what I wanted, and you had the opportunity to say no." Or to
Right,
just not even say no, just say, like, "Hey, that's not how I want to operate."
right.
So that's, like, I guess something we can all learn from because it's like we can't be afraid to, like, say who we are or be who we are and, like,
Mhm.
unabashedly just, like, be who we are, even if it hurts people or even if we don't get the person that we want. It's like, well, I guess that wasn't the person you needed or like that they
Right.
needed or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's heartbreaking. It really is. It's like,
Yes.
especially because you probably went through most of the relationship thinking it was like perfect in a sense. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you were like, wait, what? I didn't even, realize that
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this. That's crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just is just kind of breeds confusion where you're like, "Wait a second. I thought that I was clear about this. I can restate it, but is it gonna change or is this just not gonna work out because I thought we discussed this in the beginning very specifically for this reason." Um, and the thing is, it's like I've mentioned to you previously, like, it was like seeing, like, the mirror of what I used to do is try to, like, twist into, like, this pretzel of, like, what someone else wanted me to be,
Oh,
and in the end, it's, like, just builds this resentment of, like, "I don't wanna be this, like, that's not who I am."
oh,
And
so
so
you almost saw like now you were the person who was getting the twist
yeah,
version. I see. Isn't
yeah.
it funny how we always get like I don't even wanna call it karma, but we always definitely get that flip side of the lesson to, like, close out the lesson, I feel like. Um,
Yeah, I think it was very yeah, I mean, as a mirror, very reflective of like, "Oh, shoot, like, this is what I was doing." And, like but also, I'm like, "Man, I'm grateful that I've learned so much and taken the steps to grow and not do those things anymore and catch myself when I do." You know, it's a lot of awareness that it takes to make those switches.
oh,
Because
yeah,
parts of me still want to, like, please people, but I'm like, "Hold on a second, like, is this what I really want? Is this who I really want to be?" And then make the decision to be me instead, you know?
yes. I think people pleasing is a definite hard one because so many people are people pleasers and probably don't even know it, and they also think they're in the right because they're like, "But I'm doing everything you said I should do," or maybe they didn't even say you should do it, but you're just doing everything right, right?
Mhm.
And you think you're right. You think you're doing it right because 'cause you're, like, not the narcissist one or whatever. You're, like, the empathetic one who's just, like, adapting to everyone else's needs, so it feels like you're doing the right thing. But I think, like, yeah, that blindfold getting ripped off is, like, an insane feeling of, like, "Wait, I literally thought I was supposed to be this way because that's, I guess, how we were conditioned
Mhm.
as children.
Yeah,
And then, like, you think you're, like, a good person, and then you realize, like, "Oh, I was, like, trying to be someone I'm not," which doesn't make me good necessarily just because I feel
right.
like I'm doing all the right things. It actually messes with everything.
Yeah.
So so then how do you feel about, like, if somebody's really not a good person, and they just go through life and because of probably childhood trauma, right? And they're just, like,
Mhm.
bullying people, but they're just like, "This is who I am, take it or leave it." Do you find, like, yourself attracted to those people because you wanna be more like them, or do you find yourself being like, "You need to work on yourself, bro," or, like, what is your attitude towards that? Because I used to have such an attitude I still kinda do, of, like, "We need to achieve perfection, guys," like, everybody needs to be going towards, like, enlightenment in life, and, like, I know not that's not everybody's, like, jam,
Yeah.
um, but it's definitely something that I've tried to, like in my own self, kind of, like, keep seeing clearly and making changes to myself to, like, get better or whatever better is. But then, like, at a certain point, I think you realize, like, we're just human. Like,
Mhm.
eventually, I'm gonna do something that's human and mess everybody's life up, and then I'm gonna have to deal with the consequences because that's what happens.
I'm definitely not an advocate for, like, bulldozing through people, you know? I think, um, when it comes from, like, people pleasing, you said being good, being a good person, but I it's funny because we say, like, "You're the good girl," or "They're the nice guy," like, it's kind of the same mask, and, like, you can get to a place where you remove that mask and it's not kindness or not goodness and not niceness, it's kindness where you're just moving through the world being kind to other people. And part of being kind is being like having boundaries and being clear about who you are,
Mm,
using your voice. Like, you don't have to be cruel to do that. But you get to be clear about who you are and not let people bulldoze over you either.
you don't
So
have to be cruel, but you get to be clear. Oh my gosh, bars. That's such a you don't have to be cruel, but you get to be clear. I love that you're differentiating kind and good and nice.
Mhm.
Can you give me, like, the ideas of each of those 3 words? You already told us kind,
Yes.
but what is nice and
Yes.
what is good to you?
So you hear about the nice guy, right? And I think the nice guy kind of gets like a clear understanding of like, oh, that he's the nice guy. Like, he's not actually being nice, right? Like, he's giving to you because he wants to get back. Like, he's
Uh,
clearly wearing a mask, putting on a facade, doing the charismatic, like, oh, I'm awesome and I'm so good to you, but what am I getting in return? And the good girl is kind of the same thing, except for I would view it as, like, much more suppressed and, like, the storm is kinda still brewing under there, but
mhm,
they're less likely to, like, implode on people outwardly. They're more gonna implode inwardly.
I
So, it's like a goodness of, like we mentioned earlier, just giving and giving and giving, um, till depletion, and, like,
mm,
it's not good though, because you're not being open and clear about who you are. You're not letting people see that you also have needs, like
well,
letting people be reciprocal with you.
right, and the second the other person cuts off, like, your supply of what you're getting, right? Doesn't that make is that what makes them explode or implode? Is, like, they're not getting what they want, so now they're gonna because if you're giving to get, then is that the
Yeah.
thing?
Well, I think it's that they're not getting what they want at all to begin with, because it's like they've put on a facade and are pretending like they're okay with how things are. And then eventually it's like, well, I wanted this. And it's like, well, I didn't know you wanted that. I
Mm,
didn't know you were giving to me to receive that thing.
mm,
Like, if you were clear about who you are and what you wanted, then maybe I could meet you there. But if not, then we're just not cut out for each other,
oh,
and I think that's the scary thing about, removing those masks is like, if you are clear, it may not work out from the beginning.
yes,
Like,
yeah.
um, yeah.
Oh, wow. I wonder if, like, how many relationships would never even happen? Probably a lot, probably most. If
A
we were
lot.
all not wearing a mask, I feel like maybe we would be much more just, like, individualistic because, yeah, why I guess that's why so many divorces happen is because 2 people are
Mhm.
just, like, wearing mask and then but I think a lot of times they probably like, people probably don't even know what they want, right? So, like, when they're acting that way, have you experienced
Yeah.
that? So then how do you I guess that
Mhm.
goes back to my original question, like, how do you find out what your needs even are or what you even want when
Right.
you don't even know because you're lying to yourself too at a certain
Right.
so how do you then what would you tell somebody or a woman, who's working with you, who's trying to, like, discover who she is, what she needs and wants?
Yeah. So I would say that my catchphrase used to be, "I don't know." And like, I don't
Let's
know.
do it.
I just don't know.
Wow.
And I would want other people to decide for me, because it was stressful for me to even think about deciding what I wanted or making the choice, because what if I was wrong? What if I made the wrong choice? But by not making the choice, I made a choice, right?
That's
Like, I let someone else choose for me. That was the choice. Um, but figuring out who you are, it just requires, like, actually keying into those things that are interesting to you and, like, starting to explore them. Like, for me, it was, I mean, I'd say first, like, getting my degree. I was interested in art and design, and I thought I would always do something medical, but I finally decided, no, I'm gonna do art because that's what I wanna do. So kinda dabbling in that, and then as I got out of that, like volleyball, I love volleyball
Yeah.
and I've always wanted to do it, but I was scared to do it because it meant making decisions that like required getting a babysitter or, taking time away from the kids. Like it created a lot of guilt in me. So, moving past those feelings to be like, you know what, this is something that I need for me and I'm going to go explore it. And it doesn't have to necessarily be something big, but like, just taking up little interests that you have. Like, I like to paint. Okay, I'm gonna get an easel and some paints and like start doing something for myself, just a few minutes a day.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, I think. And then journaling has been huge too, because that really helps untangle the thoughts in your mind. And as an ADHD girl, like I need to untangle those thoughts. So journaling has been massive to kind of sit down and write out everything and just dump every thought that you have on a piece of paper.
Nice. So if I got that, you should make decisions that make you feel worse. Um, uh,
No. Maybe initially.
yeah, in order to, or at least if you're coming from a place of people pleasing or having that like nice, good girl,
Yeah.
nice guy mask, you need to start keying into who you are and then making decisions based on that. And
Mhm,
might make you feel guilty or bad to a certain extent, but if you know you need it for you, then
mhm.
kinda keep going in that direction. Something in
Yes.
you must have felt like was it freedom or was it what was the feeling, like, the positive feeling that you were holding on to when you made those little decisions, like getting a babysitter to play volleyball, for example?
I think it was, I mean, curiosity and excitement to explore.
Yeah.
Um, I think I was really drained as a single mom. Like I didn't have like, a whole lot of support, like, the kids' grandparents would watch them, and at that time, like, their dad was out of state, so it was just me and, kinda leaning into that guilt every time I was asking for, someone to watch my kids while I went to school, so I was like, "Okay, maybe I could ask for a little bit more time for myself to go do something for me instead of just doing school or just working."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think moving through the discomfort of the fear, of the guilt, of whatever uncomfortable feelings were there, allowed me to get to the other side of just the excitement of it.
Love that. So it was more of the curiosity. I love that, like, stay curious kind of mindset.
Mhm.
Curiosity to explore and then excitement and, like, just realizing you could do a few things for you every once in a while.
Yeah.
And not feeling guilty. Feeling guilty, but trying not to feel guilty, to ask for help kind of,
Right.
in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are times to feel guilty, but then there are times when it's kind of unnecessary and it's just like as a mom guilt is a huge thing. Like society will tell us who we're supposed to be at every twist and turn. So like kind of removing that, the cultural, you know, it's never a consistent like way a mom is supposed to be anyway. So you get to kind of be the mom that you need to be the best mom for your kids. So removing that guilt and just being like, I'm going to be the best mom that I can be by taking care of myself.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what I leaned into when I was just curious about who I wanted to be.
That's a great mindset, like, knowing that in order kinda like how you describe relationships, in order to love somebody else, you have to love yourself. Well, in order to be the best
Right.
mom for your kids, you gotta be the best woman for you, right? And
Mhm.
so, it's always like people say humans are selfish, and it's, like, always a negative connotation, but it's like, there's positive things about it.
Mhm. Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Like there definitely, like I always say, you have to be a little bit selfish.
mm,
And it's not necessarily that you actually are being selfish, but that's just the view a lot of people will have of you, the judgment other people will have of you. But it's like, okay, then I'll be a little bit selfish because I need that to be the best partner, the best mom, the best version of me that I can be.
mhm. I love
Yeah.
one of our viewers said about the previous episode, she was like, "I love that Kate said she she found her happiness more when she chose to stay home with her children and, like, just, like, fall into motherhood. Is there
Yeah.
more to that?
The way I could describe it is just surrender. Um, like, as someone with faith, like, I just surrendered, to that because I had worked so hard or had been trying so hard to figure out some way to, like, bring in money because money was always a struggle, in my marriage. So I was always like, my mind wasn't focused on my kids. I was not present with them because I was so concerned about, like, how can I make money? How can I help? How can I, provide in this way? And so I wasn't, like, mentally present with them, even though I was there. It was kind of like this burden on my shoulders to be, like, trying to figure something else out. And then I just remember, like, sitting on the floor in my hallway with my kids, like, just super random moment where, like, the sun was coming in and my AC had been broken all summer and it was fixed and it was kind of like this, yeah, it was kinda crazy, but, just being like, "Oh, like, I love being here, like, right here in this moment." Um, and I think that was, just the surrender of each moment, like, I can be present here, like, this is where I wanna be right now. And it's difficult in motherhood because it is really isolating, especially when your kids are so little. Like, now my kids are older, so we can go out and do things, and, like, my daughter's my little bestie. Don't tell her I said that. But, like,
Why?
yeah, get me in trouble as a mom,
So cute.
she'll think she can get away with more than she can, but,
That's
doggies
why
still have rules. But, yeah, just learning to stay present with each moment. And when, like I said, as they're younger, it can be hard because you don't have, like, if you don't have a community of other women surrounding you, it's just like you and babies, that can't really have a full conversation with you. It's a little maddening a little bit, but you can love it or and stay grounded in the moment or go a little bit crazy. So, um, yeah, finding what you need, is kind of the key to getting through that and learning to love just being in motherhood.
How old are your kids right now?
So my daughter is currently 13. She'll be 14 in August. And my son is 11. He just turned 11.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
they're watching you, like, grow and change in a positive direction as a result of all the work you've been doing, and has that impacted them, or do they really have no idea, or how is your relationship with them when it comes to what they're experiencing from your growth?
They definitely have observed me growing throughout the years. And it's been a lot of them just witnessing me fumbling and apologizing and, having conversations. And I'm really open with them. I like to have conversations and sit down and talk about things that are happening, to the appropriate level.
Mhm.
But as my daughter is almost 14, like, she's been dating, so we've had a lot of conversations. We've had mental health struggles where we've had a lot of conversations about our identity and who we are and who we want to be. So they're definitely getting the more healed version of me that knows how to talk through these things. And for me, it's just really beautiful to be able to connect with them in that way, in a way that I didn't experience
Yeah.
with, my parents. And I love that I can just sit down and have conversations with them where they might call me cringy now or call me weird or give me a weird look, but we get through that. And then, they're pretty open and will have conversations with me. Like, my son will be, he experiences his emotions and will hold them in. And because I kind of understand what's happening, I can be like, hey, what's happening? And we I can crack that shell, that before I would have never been able to do that. So
Wow.
that's where I'm just really grateful for my growth because I can definitely be a better mom because of it.
Wow. Do it for your kids. Do it for
Yeah.
the next generation.
Right. If you need another reason besides yourself, do it for your kids.
Have, like, another, workshop or course you're developing? Do you have anything coming up that we
Yeah.
should be staying tuned for?
Yeah. So I just launched my school platform. So it's
Oh,
um yeah,
congratulations.
I'm super excited. So I have a free community right now. It's called Love Dynamics Academy
Love it.
on school. So I'm welcoming in new people right now. And
Link below, guys. Love
yeah.
Dynamics Academy.
Yeah. And then I am accepting 5 clients for a beta offer to work on the specific dynamics that they're struggling in relationships to create healthier relationships in their lives, to kind of tackle the things that are causing them to abandon themselves in relationships.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Wow. Okay, so 5 clients and they must be women, right? Is
Yes.
that true? So
I
5
mean, I'd be open to working with men, but I am focused on women right now.
nice. 5 women looking to find themselves and tackle the challenges that they have within their relationships.
Yes, specifically if they struggle with people pleasing, self abandonment, have found themselves in toxic relationships over and over again, or, they're just struggling in their own relationship. Like, it's a great way to get connected to yourself so you can connect better with other people.
Love it. And what does it look like? Like, is it like a weekly thing or how does it go for them?
Yeah, this is a 90-day program. So it's 3 months working with me one on one with weekly calls and with a structured program using my frameworks. I have my framework is rooted, rising, and reclaim. So we're kind of looking at their history, looking at the patterns they keep finding themselves in, and then really reclaiming them to move into their lives like in a healthier way.
And would the goal be to I guess everybody's goal would be different, but if they're in a relationship, they were looking to kind of find themselves within it and stay in the relationship and make it and strengthen it, right? It would be like the
Yeah.
end result.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I'm not about breaking up relationships, but the goal is to, yeah, foster a healthier connection within yourself. So I find that when people are better connected with themselves and they can communicate that with their partner, that creates a healthier dynamic on its own.
Love it.
It does, yeah, it does take two, but it can take one person deciding that this would be good for our connection. So
That's
yeah.
amazing. Why
So
did you choose 90 days?
I found that it's kind of like the happy middle ground. Like I don't want to take it too long because that can be overwhelming. Um, Especially as people pleasers when we already have so much on our plate, it's just
True.
finding one more thing to do, but it's something that is really worth fitting into your schedule. And 90 days is a good starting point to kind of get into the weeds a little bit and unravel what's happening and move through it so you can come out in a healthier space on the end.
That is so cool. I love that. Will you be publishing any of, like, I don't know, like, weekly updates or anything like that, or is it a very private experience?
So there will be a lot more added to the school community, a lot of things that happen within the private space will be shared in the private or in the free community. Not everything, but like it's um, it's gonna work well together.
Nice.
It'll be pretty open. I have 5 free videos right now that are on the free platform that are leaning into it, and then there are 2 quizzes to kind of work through your understand what patterns that are happening in your relationships
Oh,
and where you
fun. I
stand.
love quizzes.
Yeah.
Love quizzes.
I thought quizzes would be fun.
Yeah,
I mean, they'll be eye-opening. So, yeah, but a lot will be happening on the free end. So I'd love to see women in there engaging and kind of in community together because I believe witnessing is where a lot of the healing happens, just like with my therapist, right? Like a lot of my healing is simply just being present with someone. Um, and so I want to be able to create that space for women that have struggled with connection to begin connecting with other people in a safe space, the cultivated safe space,
Yeah,
that is the goal.
that's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Okay, well, if you guys wanna work with Cait, I'll put the link to her school down below as well. And thank you, Cait, so much for coming on. Is there more part 2?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This has been really fun.
Wow, I love Cait. I'm so glad we got to do a part 2. That was amazing. It was cool to dive deeper into her relationships and her teachings because, yes, there is always more. And if you guys want to work with Cait, remember the links down below. Also, if you guys want to join a Dialog Life Skills workshop, we're doing it once a month. Please hit the link in the description. It's isttheremoreworld.com/Dialog Life Skills. If you want to learn more, you can also just DM me at Is There More World on Instagram. And I thank you guys so much for helping us reach 1,000 subscribers and getting this channel monetized. I'm so happy that this channel is for a good cause and it's awesome stories of people overcoming their challenges and learning how to thrive better in life because that's what we want you guys to do. So join our free workshop, join Cait's school community, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening.